station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
Hello. Good evening to you all. Welcome to Zero to Shero. Thank you so much for joining us here this evening. If you are joining us from the radio audience, please share. If you are with the Periscope audience, the YouTube audience, or the Facebook audience, I ask you to please share. Someone might be helped by this information that we will be giving tonight. Remember, we just finished the Christmas season. Even the Scrooge grew a heart. So have a heart and share so you can help someone. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and share right now. If I can find us live on the page, I will be sharing. And I'm not able to, so I'm going to keep it moving and then do it in just one moment. There's something different here tonight. If you're listening by radio, I'm sure you notice that the voice coming from Zero to Shero is a little different. Or if you're listening on Facebook, on Periscope, or on YouTube, I know you must be wondering, who is this tall caramel macchiato before your eyes? I am Angel Myers of Be Captivating by Angel Myers, and I'm here sitting in for Ann Charlius. Ann is away. She is at, let me read it so I can tell you exactly where she is. She is away at a conference. Actually, as we speak, she is speaking on cryptocurrency for Coins Bank in Singapore. Yes, Anne is in Singapore. Isn't that fabulous? I just heard from her just before I went live tonight, and she is speaking as we are speaking. So it's very exciting. I know she's going to do a great job, and she's going to kill it like she always does. So congratulations, Anne. Now, who am I? Who am I? Again, I am Angel Myers of Be Captivating by Angel Myers. I am the owner and the designer for my company. You may know me as a Oscar red carpet featured designer, or you may have seen me in Vogue Italia or Vogue France, or you might also know me as an award-winning costume designer. But if you don't, let me tell you what I do. What I do is I use the mediums of fashion and beauty to empower women to have their full confidence. I design beautiful clothing and accessories to gently push a woman from her comfort zone into the fabulous zone so that she can walk forward in her life with confidence and she can radiate beauty and style. That is what I do. Thank you so much for inviting me, Ann Charlius. Thank you so much for having me here at AMP2 TV. Thank you so much for hosting me tonight. Our subject for tonight, though, our topic. You do not hear a lot about this topic, although it is needed. The topic is etiquette, okay? You don't hear a lot. They used to teach it in schools, but they don't teach it anymore. And also, so many of us are business people. We go to business dinners. We go to networking events. And sometimes we need some brushing up on our table etiquette, on how we meet people, how we enter a room, how do we do these things? Because, people judge you. They judge you based upon the way that you carry yourself. So we may need some brushing up on that. And our children or our young adults, have you interacted with any of them lately? Do I really need to say more? Okay. Etiquette is needed. So with that in mind, I'd like to introduce our guest tonight. She is none other than Miss Jackie Vernon Thompson. She is the owner of From the Inside Out School of Etiquette in Plantation, Florida. Her company's been in existence since January 2014, and she serves boys, girls, and yes, us adults as well. Don't be embarrassed if you need some help. You need to go see Miss Jackie because she is a certified etiquette consultant. She can help you, okay? So I'd like to introduce you to, let me turn so I can look at her. I want to introduce you to Miss Jackie Vernon Thompson. If you would please tell us a little bit about yourself and about the mission of your company.
Of course, and thank you so much for having me today. It's a pleasure to be here. As you mentioned, I am a certified etiquette consultant. I teach proper etiquette to children and adults on a regular basis. I'm also an approved vendor for Broward County Public Schools. So we're in and out of the schools on a regular basis, teaching the students all about proper etiquette. We're located in West Plantation, and we have our private classes there. However, if you're not able to actually travel to our school, we're more than happy to travel to you. So we will go wherever needed.
That is wonderful. This is a very interesting choice of businesses.
Yes.
Tell me, what is it that happened that you felt motivated, that you felt inspired to actually open a school, not just doing it on the side, to open actual school to teach etiquette?
Well, to be honest with you, Angel, I've mentored girls for many years prior to the launching of my school. And I am accustomed to telling folks that I do not take credit for coming up with the brilliant idea to have an etiquette school. All I was concerned about was mentoring children. However, God told me this is something I needed to do. And I cannot take credit for it because it wasn't a part of my plan. So the Holy Spirit spoke to me and I obeyed. And we're in 2018. My school is thriving. We're so excited. We have so many things going on. The parents are happy when they send their kids to me. And so it's just been a fabulous road and a fabulous journey. And I truly believe that I'm walking in my purpose because this is what I do. I teach etiquette and I love it.
I can tell by the enthusiasm in your voice. I can tell you truly enjoy it. But looks, you must forgive me, I'm fighting a little bit of a cold. Given the current music entertainment climate, where risque is common, risque is expected. So, and children idolize these people. They look, they want to do. Those of you who do not know, as well as being a designer, I'm also a school teacher. So I look at them and they idolize these people misbehaving badly. And so I would love to know, how do you convince a young girl, a teenager, a 14, a 15, a 12, a 10-year-old, how do you convince them that behaving in that manner is not the best behavior for them, even though it's fun, maybe it's not the best thing for them? How do you market to their minds?
Well, what I've learned is when you step into a room full of teenagers who normally feel like they know everything, you have to first build a relationship. I will have like an hour and a half with them, but for the first 20 minutes, I'm working on eye contact, I'm working on connection and building that relationship so they will receive what I'm teaching them. And so I focus on that. I focus on what makes them laugh, what makes them excited. I learn them like the first 20 minutes and we just go off. I've seen children actually transform within an hour in my classes.
Really?
So a relationship is key when you're trying to tell our youth that you've got to change this, you've got to do this differently. So I focus on the relationship.
You know, what I find with young people is that if they don't value it, if they don't see the value in it, then they will not embrace it.
Right.
So obviously you're doing a really good job at getting them to see the value in what it is that you teach.
Thank you. And I've been pretty flexible. I do not hesitate telling my story. Growing up with 4 siblings, having my mother the only one supporting us and raising us, and not having much. However, I realize that my choices will determine where I end up. And so I quickly tell my students, if I feel that the need of my story is there, I quickly let them know, hey, I did not I wasn't raised with this fabulous clothes and pumps and knowing all about etiquette. I learned and I made the decision to apply myself. And so at the end of the day, everything is a result of a decision. What decision are you going to make? Are you going to apply these etiquette rules and etiquette protocols that I'm teaching you because you deserve it? Or are you going to shortchange yourself? So I leave them with a question to answer. And most of the time, they transform right there in front of me.
Wow. Well, that must be, I mean, it must be so fulfilling.
Yes, it is.
It must be. Tell me, starting a business. So many people, we're in love with the thought of being entrepreneurs. I'm a business, I'm a boss babe. Is that what they say? I'm making boss moves. All these things. We're in love with saying these things. But the reality of the day by day of starting a business and running a business, sometimes it can be very challenging.
Yes.
Tell me, what were some of the obstacles that you ran into, when you were, or what was your greatest challenge in starting?
Well, to be honest with you, my greatest challenge was keeping it all to myself. And what I've learned is when you've got a brilliant idea, a great idea, or you're starting a business, it's important to keep it to yourself or keep it to those who have the resources to make it a reality. And so my greatest challenge was being around my family or being around close friends and not telling them. And you get to the point where you're about to say, you know what I'm doing? And you're like, okay, step back, discipline. You've got to keep it to yourself because you've got to avoid the naysayers or those who may question what you're doing and don't understand it. And so that was my greatest challenge, because once I learned that this is what God wanted me to do, He placed everything in my path, step by step. So I did not have a challenge doing anything to launch it. Of course, I was patient and it took time and I did things in increments, but keeping it to myself was one of the biggest challenge.
It's interesting that you say that, because I find that to be true. I mean, goodness, the naysayers, what does Ann call them? The dream killers. Those people, they are there ready to tell you every reason why it will not work.
Exactly.
They are there to tell you every reason why.
Exactly.
And it can be very discouraging. So it's like, yes, there's always the challenge of funding things and funding them the way that you would like to fund them. But a greater challenge, is the mindset that comes with, this is a good idea. I stand on this good idea. I believe in it. And it has to have time to grow a little bit before I share it with so many people, because people will trample over it. You know what I'm saying? It will never see the light of day. If you do not. That is true. Thank you. That is great. Okay, so it's like,
and I definitely didn't want to be discouraged. It was totally new to me. And one negative statement from someone may have affected me. So my challenge was keeping it to myself, but thank God I did.
Everything is going wonderful now.
Thank you.
Tell me, who's your target audience?
My target audience are children, of course, boys and girls. When we initiated this school, we were focused on girls. And then we had parents, hey, what happened to my son? Well, you're not teaching my son, and so forth. So we quickly realized that we can't focus on refining our young ladies and not refining the young men. So we've integrated the young men and adults into the whole equation. So we're so happy to be able to serve everyone from age 6 on up.
Oh, what type of skills do you teach the young men?
We teach them chivalry. Chivalry's not dead.
Oh my goodness, chivalry. Oh my goodness.
We definitely teach them chivalry, and it's such a phenomenal experience because I actually see the young people, the young boys, whatever ethnicity they are, I see them transforming from just being a boy to a gentleman. And it's so exciting. We teach them how to greet and communicate effectively because that's extremely important. We teach them how to honor their body. When you're dressing, consider that you're representing not only yourself, but you're representing your family. When you step out that door, is this how you want to represent your family? Not only that, your attire speaks. as long as you're awake, you're communicating something, whether it be verbal or nonverbal. And so I teach them that. And I tell you, I may sound like a broken record, but seeing these children transform right in front of my eyes shows that what I'm doing is the right thing. We also teach table etiquette to the boys, to girls, to adults. And so it's just a great journey that I've been on. And someone asked me a while back, what do you want to do when you retire? I'm like, what do you mean? I don't want to retire. I love what I'm doing. I want to do this until I'm 90.
What do you think happened? Where did etiquette get lost?
I think our standards were lowered. Definitely the standards have been lowered. I've been in schools, public schools, quite a bit. And I see that the line between teacher and student has been erased. So therefore, the standards are low. The expectations of individuals is low. And so people don't understand that in everything you do, proper etiquette is required. We just don't do it. So if you want to shine, if you want to be refined, you have to focus on demonstrating proper etiquette. I tell my students all of the time, they're girls and they're boys. They're men and they're ladies. But it takes effort. They're men and they're women. But it takes effort to be a lady and it takes effort to be a gentleman.
Yes.
A gentleman will demonstrate chivalry. A lady will conduct herself in a ladylike manner. But just being a girl doesn't mean you're a lady. So you have to demonstrate it. You have to make that effort.
And you did nothing to become a girl. You were born that way.
Exactly.
You did nothing.
Yes. But you have to make the effort to be a lady.
At this point, I believe it is time. I'm enjoying this so much. Goodness, the time is flying. I am enjoying this, but it's time for our commercial. And so I'm sure they're going to put the graphic up in just a second. There it is. Extreme Healing Acupuncture. You can contact them at 754-703-7862. They are specialists in acupuncture and in cupping. Now, if you've never had acupuncture done, don't be afraid. I was afraid too. I thought I looked at it and I said, oh my goodness, all these needles, I just don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. But it's not painful at all. It's really not. The needles are extremely fine. And so don't worry about the pain part of it that so many people worry about. And also, if you are if medicine is not working for you, if you've been to the doctor and the things that they're giving you, the pills and the potions and the shots are not working, perhaps you want to try something different, something more natural that deals with healing the body as well as healing the soul. You may want to try acupuncture with Dr. France at Extreme Healing Acupuncture. Again, you can contact his team at 754-703-7862. And we're back. We're back. All right. Let us keep it moving. Before we go too much further, I do, because I have a hot question for you.
Yes.
But before we do, I want to ask you, do you have anything coming up, any events, anything you want to tell us about?
Oh, most definitely. We have a huge event coming up. Actually, this Sunday, January 21st at 2 p.m., we have a winter fashion show. It's called Etiquette on the Runway. And teaching our students proper etiquette during the year is great, but we've decided to do something fun, like one huge event once a year. And this is our third annual Etiquette on the Runway. And the objective is to show our aspiring models that you can work the runway, you can sell the clothes, but you don't have to sell your body. You don't have to expose your cleavage. You don't have to wear those short dresses or short skirts. You can still have integrity, class, elegance, and etiquette on the runway. And so we have 4 designers. Harold's Fine Fashions. His clothes for men is just amazing.
Love Harold.
We have my girl, Ruth Lewis Saint, who is my stylist. She makes so much of my clothes, so many of them. We have Portia's Closet. She is a beautiful designer for children's clothing. And we have a boutique, the Right Choice Boutique, who will dress our beautiful curvy ladies. So we're covering everyone. We have entertainment, and not only that, we've taken a time to honor two high school students from our public schools who have been doing a phenomenal job academically. Grade point average, at least 3.8 and up. We have a boy and a girl who will receive a certificate, and we just want to celebrate them and congratulate them for doing such a great job while in school, regardless of what's going on around them. So it's going to be a great event. It's at the Fort Lauderdale Country Club at 415 Country Club Circle, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And we want everyone to come on out. It's only $18 for the show for adults and $10 for children 5 and up. If you're 0 to 4, it's free. It's a family affair, and we want everyone to come out and enjoy it and celebrate fashion and etiquette.
If they want to purchase a ticket, how do they go about that?
They can go on Eventbrite, or we have 2 free tickets today if they're able to go on our live chat room and tell me what is the difference between European dining and American dining, and they will win 2 tickets.
Oh wow! The difference between European dining and
American dining.
Okay.
Yes.
And they must tell you the difference. Is there one difference, or are there several differences?
What do you do with your utensils in the European style as opposed to American style? If they know that, they'll get those 2 tickets.
If they know that, they may not need etiquette school.
That would be awesome.
I'm sure it's going to be a wonderful, wonderful event. It sounds exciting.
Yes.
I cannot wait to see it unfold. It's exciting to me. This may be our last question. Oh, goodness. Well, let me see. I'm going to try to squeeze one more question in. Okay. And so that it's not our last one. Let's see. What do I want to ask you? Have you ever had a student? We believe, as teachers, we believe that we can help every child, and that we believe this, and it's true. Every child can be taught. Every child can learn.
Oh yes.
Yes, I just have to understand. I can't teach every child, but every child can learn. Have you had that student that you said, "You are beyond. You are beyond"? Have you had that one?
Yes, I've had several because of the mentality they have coming into the class. Maybe they weren't taught before that they're good enough. And so they have that mindset that I'm not good enough to embrace this information and apply it to my life. I'm going nowhere in life, so why should I do this? And I've had that experience quite a bit with several students. And I find myself having pep talks with them and sometimes pulling them to the side and telling them, you are beautiful. You deserve this, but no one can give it to you but you. And so I've had a couple times where I've actually left a workshop and sat in my car and wept because my heart breaks when I see these young people who have such bright futures, but for some reason their mindset is telling them that I'm stuck here. And there's but so much you can do within an hour. Sometimes we do have series of workshops where I'm able to see them again and build that long-lasting relationship. But when there is just one workshop, at that point, I just have to do the best I can and pray for them. But I make it a point to notice if there is one with low self-esteem, I focus on that one and just remind them how beautiful they are, whether they're just a boy or a girl.
That is what it's about. It's about their self-esteem. It really is when they feel that they're stuck. That this is, I am what I will be.
Yes.
When they have that mindset, it's all about self-esteem, and it's often about what's around them. So it's like,
and what they're being told.
So sometimes you want to pluck them up and take them with you, and it's like, oh, I see so much in you.
Yeah.
But there's only so much you can do.
Exactly.
As a teacher, there's only so much.
Exactly.
Okay. Hot question. Pop culture.
Oh,
Pop
wow.
culture. Who is it of all of the people out there who are popular today? Movies, music, radio, whatever type, social media queens and kings, any of these people, who is it that you would love to get your hands on?
Well, you know what? I'm not going to fall into the trap of saying a name, but there are a host of them.
Why not? I can give you a number of people I'd love to design for.
Well, designing is different than telling them, hey, you're doing this incorrectly. So, there are a host of our entertainers that I would love to just have in my class to, again, show them that they deserve better than what they're displaying. Because clearly, when you show yourself in a degrading way, or you use a degrading language and so forth, it simply means that you don't think that much of yourself. Your value has plummeted, or your self-esteem is so low. So that's the opportunity I would like to have a bunch of them in one room to just tell them, hey, you deserve better than this.
Hey, you are so much more than your breast implants and your butt implants
Exactly.
and your ability to twerk and bounce. You are so much more.
Exactly.
You are so much more than that.
Exactly.
I'd love to tell them. So you're nice. I'd name names. At any rate, it is about time. Didn't the time fly?
It flew.
Didn't it fly?
It flew.
Oh, my goodness. Listen, you all, I want to thank, first, let me thank you. Thank you so much, Miss Jackie Vernon Thompson, everyone. Remember that name. She is the owner of From the Inside Out School of Etiquette.
May I say one thing really quick?
Please.
I just want to thank my husband, who's been such a great support from the initiation of this. My husband, Jerome, has been amazing. My sister, Karen, has been my right-hand person, and I just thank them.
Okay.
And thank you.
Thank you so much to AMPT TV for having us here tonight. Thank you to Ann Charlie, as I know she's doing a wonderful job in Singapore, and to the audience. We invite you back next week. Ann will be back. If she's not back, I'll probably be back. But Ann is supposed to be back next week. So thank you for joining us. And until I see you again, don't forget to always, always be captivating. Good night.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly